Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be tackling the question of how did the Prophet of Truth manage to sneak behind Miranda Keyes and kill her with the spiker? So, on the mission to Covenant, during the scene when Miranda Keyes crashes her Pelican in, you saw at the very beginning there that the Prophet of Truth was standing next to Johnson. And then all of a sudden here in this scene, well, Truth is nowhere to be seen. He just vanished. But you do hear him talking in the background here, talking to Miranda Keyes and basically almost taunting her. But we don't actually see where he is during this entire time. Like, is it just playing his voice and like there's no one there? So that has always been like one of the biggest mysteries of this cutscene, really. Because here, when Miranda Keyes dies, she gets shot from behind with a spiker. So how did Truth, go from standing next to Johnson to somehow sneaking by Miranda Keyes and then going behind her and talk to her all without being noticed and then shoot her after that? So that's what we're going to find out. And the answer is actually quite simple. And you can actually kind of see it on the MCC version of this cutscene. So in the top left corner, you might have just missed it there, but let me play in super slow motion. Pay very close attention to the top left corner during the scene. And for a split second, a very split second, there. Do you see that? If you didn't, you can feel free to rewind. But for a split second, you will see the Prophet of Truth essentially just flying, like zooming by in the background. Now, you don't really see that on like the 360 version of Halo 3, and you don't always see it on MCC either. But sometimes you do see it on MCC, and I think it happens more on like if you're playing on like higher frame rates or higher refresh rates. I'm not sure, like I don't know if they're like factually accurate, but that's just from my personal experience. Where I tend to see it happen more often, being able to see Truth in the background. So let's see what's actually happening. So you do get a brief glimpse there sometimes of him flying by in the background, but let's explore this cutscene a little further. And to do that, we're gonna fly around during this cutscene, and we'll start just before Miranda Keyes crashes in. So this is where the cutscene is right now. This is just before Miranda crashes in. And you can see where some of these characters are set up behind the scenes. You actually get to see how cutscenes in Halo 3 works. It's a lot more janky, I guess, behind the scenes than you'd imagine. So here's Miranda Keyes crashing in through the back, and that's her Pelican and everything. And the scene at this point is already actually getting set up for her. Her shotgun is not like a real weapon. It's actually just like a floating scenery object that happens to get like moved around at the same time with her. So she's not actually wielding the shotgun in the scene. But anyways, so as you saw there, this is where she's about to shoot the brute that gets up. Now from this point on, let's take a look at what's around. So there's Miranda Keyes and the brute, and here, there's Prophet of Truth and Sergeant Johnson. So at this point when Miranda Keyes is shooting the brute, Prophet of Truth is standing right next to Johnson. So let's fly back a little bit and let's watch the whole scene now from a distance. You can see everything that happens. So there, it happened very quickly. I'll play in slow motion again so you can see. But focus on the Prophet of Truth in the bottom left, and you can see he very quickly flies, like frame by frame, to over here behind the Pelican. So that's where he goes. He goes from, when Miranda Keyes says like Johnson sound off, he just instantly like flies over here. He doesn't actually just teleport there, he just flies there, visually speaking. And well, he just pretty much hovers here the entire time. Now what's interesting is that when he talks, his mouth actually is animated and moving over here. When he tells Miranda Keyes that she's delaying the inevitable, and that she can't hope to kill all the brutes, his mouth is actually moving during that entire dialogue sequence, surprisingly, even though he's like hidden off camera. So that is where he is talking from, and he is actually literally talking behind the scenes. So it's not just a cutscene playing his audio file with like no character talking. He actually is talking. So that is how Truth got there. And as for shooting Miranda Keyes from behind, because right now he's actually behind the Pelican, so at this point he has to get from there to somewhere behind her where he can shoot her. And in a second you will see what happens, but basically Miranda Keyes does not actually get shot by a spiker. So here, Prophet of Truth basically climbed over the Pelican somehow, and it climbed under like Spider-Man, and I guess technically shot her, but that's actually not the case. So Miranda Keyes did not really get shot in a cutscene. In the game files, her biped has two variants. The first variant is a normal one that you see in gameplay and or cutscenes, but the second one is a variant where there's the spikes on her back. So all the game does is just swaps her biped with the other variant, or changes the variant to the one with the spikes in the back. But as you saw there, nothing actually shot her. Those spikes weren't fired into her back. They're actually physically part of her model. So that's basically it. That's how that scene worked. Now, it's actually plausible for the Prophet of Truth to fly all the way there, because in Halo 2, if you remember, the Prophet of Regret's throne could actually teleport him across the map, across the room. So it is actually feasible that Truth could have used his throne to teleport to somewhere behind the Pelican, and then got off and then shot Miranda Keyes himself, lore-wise. But of course, in the cutscene, how that happened was more of like cutscene magic, because in the background of cutscenes, behind the scenes, things do get teleported around a lot and stuff like that. So that's normal for a cutscene. But lore-wise, it really could be that he used his throne to teleport to somewhere behind her or around near the Pelican, and then I guess that's how he basically got behind her and then shot her, quote unquote, with the spiker. But yeah, so there you guys have it. That is how Truth snuck behind Miranda Keyes and killed her with a spiker. He basically teleported behind her. Hopefully you guys did find this video to be interesting, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like as always. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Anything else you want to check out or look into, just let me know down below. But other than that, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!